Hey, how's it going, guys? My name is Diego, and in today's video, I'm just going to be giving value like I do in every other video on this channel. Wow, what a surprise. Yeah, so what I do on this channel is I just provide value daily. I go through all your guys' comments, and I give any advice for free, right? Just any advice I have, answering your guys' questions, and also taking a look at your guys' channels, and like I said, just providing value. The reason I do this is it's great for engagement. It helps really just grow my brand further, and I also provide a lot of value for you guys in return. So it's a win-win, right? So let's start with the comment at the very bottom, because how we do this is I just scroll to the very bottom and I go from there. Yo, I love the videos, bro. I'm wondering what search volume would be too low to go for. The main keyword I'm using has around 80,000 searches per month. So yeah, I mean, a keyword that's too low to go for in search volume is probably, well, here's the thing, is it now depends on like what you're going for. Are you going for sales? Or are you going to go super viral, like on freestyle beats, for example? Because yeah, you know, if you're going for Drake type beat or Yeet type beat, like yeah, there's probably a million search volume, but those beats might not sell as much compared to boom bap beats, or compared to, you know, R&B beats or soul beats, right? It's different, it varies. So it honestly depends on what your goal is. If you're going for views, let's just say you are, like, for example, then I'd say even 100,000 searches per month might be too low. Like a good rule of thumb is like, okay, bare minimum I'd say is like 200,000 searches a month, and then like decently, that should have low competition. If it doesn't, then don't even go for it, because there's so many keywords that have 200,000 search volume and above that have a low competition or a very low competition. So to answer your question, like I think anything under 100,000 is too low, and I would really ideally go for 200,000 plus. Now, the way you can do that is, let's just go to vidIQ real quick. I'll show you essentially how you go about that. And so let's say you're interested in doing like trap beats. Let's just call it easy, right? Trap beats. Okay, let's get specific. So trap beats. Okay, let's say you do Detroit beats. Let's try, you would just want to make a list of artists that are in Detroit, you know, that are popping. You'd say, okay, so this keyword is falling, right? It's at a minus 90% in the last month. You know, it's probably not that good. It does have 140,000 search volume, low competition, but it's a falling keyword, so probably wouldn't want to go for this, right? Let's try V's though. Let's see V's. Okay, a very high search volume, but competition's kind of medium. I still think this is a solid keyword though. If you have the beats for it and like you're really good at these type of beats, don't even worry about the competition. Just focus on all the other things that you can control, like the thumbnail, your arrangement, implementing retention hacks, right? And just being the best at this niche, well, this keyword, right? But if you're looking for low competition and 200,000 search minimum, let's go for another, right? Rio the Young OG. There you go. 3 searches and I found it, right? What was that? Maybe a minute and a half. So 360,000 search volume, which is very high, and the competition is low. This is a great keyword. So just like that, you find that, and then so that is what I would do if you want to find a keyword like that. And I just chose, okay, trap beats as the genre, and then from there I niche down further, and then here we go, right? So that's all it comes down to, is like thinking, okay, who or what type of beats do I want to make, and then like write down a list of artists that are in that lane, and then you should find a keyword with decent search volume and a low competition. It's really not that hard, but hopefully that answers your question, man, and thanks for stopping by again. Now, does micro niche apply to R&B type beats? I just started this channel a couple of days ago. My main one was way too messy with a lot of different type of beats, and I want to know if these keywords are the right approach. Yeah, so I actually answered a question like pretty much very similar to this in my last video. It was either my last video or the video before that, but I'm pretty sure it was my last video. It's called How to Maintain Growth on Your Type Beat Channel. So I answered that question in there and went pretty in depth with this. So I would go check that out. I basically answered this exact question, or like I talked about, you know, doing a micro niche for R&B and how I would go about that. So that will be super valuable for you. Now, Next question is, I started this channel 6 months ago without much knowledge about type beats. So I've stopped posting after a month. I recently started again in another niche and tried to use several methods like ones you taught. But sometimes I get lost in the numbers and lose motivation. Fair enough. We all do. Should I forget about views and just keep going? This is a really good question. So producers will always think that they need to just look at the numbers and and obviously, yeah, you know, you want to, this is your type beat channel. So you're going to always be looking at the analytics and you're just hoping that you're going to wake up one day and your channel is going to be taking off. Every producer has that dream, right? If you want to be in the type beat space, right? But I always tell my students and any producer in general, right? The only numbers you should be focusing on is your click-through rate, your retention, and your average view duration. Nothing else matters. Your views do not matter at the start, right? Obviously, and they never matter actually. In terms of like actual using the view data to get better performance, the views don't play an effect in that. The views are the result of what you did focus on, which is your thumbnail, your retention, your click-through rate, all that, right? So the views is just an output. The inputs is what you need to focus on, and this is what producers struggle with the most, okay? They get lost, they lose their motivation because the only way you get motivation is based upon action. So for example, if you're posting beats every day and you're seeing results, like you're gonna get motivated because you're like, wow, you know, this is working and I'm posting every day and it actually feels good to like get these videos out. Whereas when you're not posting, and you're just thinking, oh, you know, my last video I posted 7 days ago and it's at 14 views and all my other videos I've been switching it up every lane and I don't know why I'm not getting views. It's like, dude, you're looking at the views when really you have a lot going wrong on your channel that you need to be focusing on. You have a lot of inputs that need to be focused on, not the output. So when you focus on the input, the output will always resolve itself. That goes for anything in life, okay? So, for example, if you're at the gym and you're constantly like, oh, you know, I'm not seeing any results, what the heck? But I only go to the gym once a week, or I only go to the gym once a month, right? It's like, dude, why are you focusing on the output when you're not even doing the input part, right? And then when you actually start focusing on the input, wow, you know, I'm getting really good results. I feel really good. See how that works? So do not focus on the views. It will kill your mental because it did for me when I was first starting out until I finally realized everything I'm saying in this video, right? I realized the input is the only thing I need to focus on. That is it. And a good way to also do that is there was a time when I had like a Chrome extension that like removed my views from my analytics. I forgot what it was. It was on my old computer. I never reinstalled it. It was kind of shitty to be honest, but it worked for what I wanted because it got so bad. My mental got so cooked. I'm not gonna lie, because I just wanted it to work. And a lot of you guys might be in the same position. You might be like, man, I really just want this to work. And so I totally get it. I understand because I've been there, and every producer has been there. Every successful producer has been there. And no successful producer started with 500,000 subs. You know, that's not how it goes. So yeah, should I forget about the views? Absolutely. Should you keep going? Absolutely. And I think you already knew the answer to that. Sometimes you just need someone to tell you it twice. I get it. Okay, I'm the same way. You already knew what the answer was, but you just need that reassurance. And so hopefully that helps. And I hope that helps a lot of you guys hearing this and motivates you. So yeah, great question, man. Is it a good idea to add timestamps on a type beat video? I'm not sure how watch time works in that case. For example, if someone's, oh, I actually answered this question on my last video. So good question though. Thanks for answering, bro. For real, means a lot. I'm going to follow your advice. Awesome. Yes, sir. Good to see you back. Thanks for the answer. Of course. Hey, Diego, if my channel is dead and my beats get 50 views, even when I post daily, is it all right if I change niche, or should I keep doing Pooh Shiesty beats and hope I get views? So actually I did answer this question on the last video. So go check that one out. It's how to maintain growth on your type beat channel. And I think I made that title based on your comments. So definitely go check that out. Now, thank you for doing what you're doing. Do you think it's possible to run 5 YouTube channels at once? I'm planning on running 5 YouTube channels at once for 2 months and stick to the ones that eventually do well. So yeah, I mean, it's definitely possible. There was a time I was running, I think 17 channels at once. And it's 16 maybe. I don't think it was 17. It was around 15 or 16. But point is, it was a lot. And It's 100% possible. Now, after 5 channels, it's hard to make the beats, like, for these channels. After, if you wanna scale past 5 channels, that's where it gets difficult to do everything on your own. I think 3 channels on your own is a sweet spot. 5 channels is like, okay, you're working your ass off, and by that point, you're probably full-time. It's definitely possible, though. You just need to get organized. So the way I get organized is I set out, if you have 5 channels, set out one day. Maybe you cut out the weekends. You just want to chill on the weekends. Great. Every weekday, have one day be dedicated to making and scheduling out beats for that one channel. So then you see you're just constantly pumping out content, and you get organized that way. And if you're efficient, it depends on the niche, right? Some niches take longer to make than others, but let's say they're trap beats. If you're efficient, you can make, 5 trap beats in a couple hours or a few hours, right? Maybe 4 hours. And then scheduling the beats out maybe takes another hour. So you're working like 5 days or 5 hours on those weekdays. Not so bad. If you have a full-time job, then it's like, okay, maybe don't do 5 channels, right? Wait till you're full-time, or at least seeing really good results, enough to go full-time, or have your job go to part-time. But doesn't always work like that. So yeah, it really just depends on your schedule. Like, okay, do you have a 9 to 5? Do you have school? Like, I don't know your current life situation, so I can't really say, like, if you can run 5 YouTube channels. Of course you can, right? It's possible for anyone. It just depends on where you are in life. So definitely think about that. But yeah, hopefully that answers your question, man. Oh, well, me too. I asked the same. Yes, sir. Hopefully that answers both of your guys' questions. All right, so Nico says, I've been getting good views on my channel for Future X Drake X Tem type beats like 2 to 3 years ago. Even had one go over 100K. At some point, the niche died out though, and views went down. Till this day, some of the videos still get a couple hundred views every month. Right now, I'm uploading Fat Mac type beats with maximum 400 to 500 views max per video. Should I keep going with this channel, or do you think it's better to start a new one? I think 400, 500 views is decent. I think it's not bad at all. Oh, so you're doing it on the same channel. I see. Okay, so in this case, actually, I wouldn't be posting all these beats on the same channel. I think you definitely switched your niche heavily, whereas your subscribers, you have 2,000 subscribers, man. 2,700. Majority of these subscribed for this sound, right? Which I guarantee is way different from the Fat Mac style. So, and that's why you're seeing 29 views, So I would make a new channel. I would make a second channel for Fat Mac beats, but continue posting what was working in the first place, right? You never want to switch up from what worked in the first place, because your subscribers subscribed for this, they really like this sound. So I would 100% keep going with that sound on this channel, and then make a second channel for Fat Mac beats. I think that's your best bet. And ideally do Fat Mac sample as well. The Fat Mac sample beats it's a really good keyword. And I have a couple students doing that, and they're doing pretty well with it. So yeah, that's what I would do for you though. That's my best advice. Is separate this, right? Because you're confusing your audience, and you're actually hurting yourself. You're hurting your channel's results, because your audience expects one thing, but you're giving them another thing. And you're also like not even really consistent with that title. You're adding a bunch of other keywords, which I only recommend once you're already dominating the first original keyword that you set out to do. And so yeah, I mean, you're technically just hurting yourself. You're hurting your channel's results and your channel's potential, right? Because YouTube only pushes you out based on if your subscribers liked your new content, right? If you drop a video and your subscribers click it immediately because it's what they expect, and it's really, that tells YouTube, okay, let's push it out to more people. But if your own subscribers don't even like it, then they're not going to push it out to anyone else, So that's my best advice for you, man. Hopefully that helps. Now, hey man, great video. I actually started making 9 Vicious type beats recently. The thing is, I'm doing it on this channel, which was funk type beat channel for months. I gained a decent amount of views through the funk beats, but lost a passion for it and would rather choose a niche that is sellable to rappers. I created 2 other type beat channels, trying out Osama-san and Nespen type beats, and both channels did poorly. I decided to rebrand this funk type beat channel into the 9 Vicious type beat channel. Was this a mistake? My thought was that YouTube's algorithms trust me since I've gotten good views in the past, but the first 3 uploads did terrible. I saw a huge drop in views. Would you say I'm better off creating a new channel for the 9 Vicious beats, or have patience in the rebranding process? The rebranding process never works, to be honest. It never works. And also, These thumbnails will not work for 9vicious type beats. Just letting you know, they won't. And I wouldn't be doing this like having your logo that big in the title. There's a lot of things that aren't the best here. If you want to do font type beats, I would be doing that on this channel, but you definitely need to make another channel. So I answered just this last question I answered for Nico applies to you as well, right? You definitely need to separate the audience. And for your thumbnails, I would be doing definitely different thumbnails. Like if you just look up 9vicious, I already know it's gonna be like a dude standing, probably holding money or something, just because I know the niche so well. But yeah, I mean, so okay, there's actually a gap in the market. For you, I would be doing pictures like this. So let's go to one of my students, QSS. I would be doing thumbnails like this. So for example, thumbnails like that. The turning blue one, I would be doing thumbnails like this. All kinds of these type of thumbnails. I recommend studying QSS's channel for your thumbnails in your specific niche, and I think that would do really well. You'll see a much better click-through rate. Okay, you'll see a much better click-through rate. So, but yeah, definitely separate those two channels. Hopefully that helps though. Now, what is the best thing to do after uploading our beats? I mean, should I rewatch them with different accounts? I mean, I don't think it really makes a difference. You know, whether you watch it with other accounts or not, you could if you wanted to. I've never done it. I can't really like speak on that, but I would just really be focused on essentially your inputs. Like I said, and I talked about this earlier in this video, but I wouldn't really be thinking of like all these other small things that could lead to better results. It's like, if your type B video is solid, it will get pushed out. It might not get pushed out right away, but it will get pushed out, even if it has 0 views for the first month. So that's why I always say, don't even worry about the views. And also, you don't even want your channel to get views until you have a decent catalog of at least like 30 beats, right? Because you can't build session time if you only, imagine you blew up on your first video. It's like, what else are they going to watch now? You actually kill your channel that way, you know, or you make your blow up way less than it could have been. So yeah, but all of that, I mean, if you want to watch them on different accounts, go for it. I don't really have experience with that though, so I can't really speak on it. But yeah, should I start a new channel? I'm trying my best and doing things I learned from you, but I think my channel is dead. Oh boy. Let's take a look. So you're doing baby drill type beat, and now you're doing R&B type beat. And oh, okay. So you went from posting 9 months ago and then switched the niche completely to R&B. Definitely start a new channel. That's it. Look, if you're switching your niche completely, or you're going through phases where you're massively inconsistent, start a new channel. Start fresh. Right? And before you start a new channel, have a clear strategy already. Know what you're gonna do. All right. That's the key thing is know what you're gonna do. But yeah, definitely start a new channel, man. Now our next question is, how often do I have to upload? I know the most optimal is once every day, but I have college and can only make 1 or 2 beats per week. Is that enough to develop a beat channel? Yeah, it's enough to develop a beat channel, but it's just gonna be 7 times slower than if you were to post daily. So when we say to post every single day, it's just to accelerate the process of you getting results, right? Because, you know, you'll just go 7 times faster. Now, if you have college and stuff, of course, you know, things like we all have lives, right? We all have responsibilities, so I get it. If you can only do 1 or 2 beats a week, then do that, right? Just make sure you stay consistent with that at the bare minimum. And if you have extra time, great, drop another beat, right? If you start seeing really good results, maybe start sacrificing an extra hour of sleep to get another beat out or something, you know. Yeah, if you have school, sure, you know, I get it. It's just gonna be 7 times slower, or a lot slower than if you were to post daily. That's all there is to it though. You're not necessarily getting less results, it's just slower. So hopefully that answers your question, and I hope to see you around more. Thank you for answering. My click-through rate is between 9 to 15%, and my average view duration is between 35 seconds and a minute. But I don't understand why the views have dropped. I think the problem might be either with the keywords or because my channel's monetization was removed a month ago. Interesting. That happened to me on one of my channels. It's because I was underage. I don't know if you're underage, but if you're underage, they're gonna take away your monetization, which sucks. Okay, it really sucks. But also, if you're talking about this channel, you're not at 1,000 subs, so that could be why they took away your monetization, or I don't even know how you got monetized. I assume it was on another channel, but yeah, definitely submit an appeal for that. I think the problem might be either with my keywords or because my channel's monetization. Yeah, so I don't think it's because well, YouTube obviously wants to promote people that are monetized because that's how they make money. But essentially, I've had videos that were demonetized though and blew up to a couple 100,000 views. So I don't necessarily think that's the reason. I think it might be your keywords, and I think it might be your thumbnails too. Your click through rate's decent though. I do think it could be improved though, still, right? But it genuinely might be your keywords. So try, because your channel is already a decent size, just try to focus on what keywords are very, very similar to what you're currently doing, and then just try and sprinkle that in until it works. That's my best advice. Hey Diego, I've been posting on my channel since 2022. I post Nipsey Hussle type beats, and my click-through rate is like 4% and posted 180 plus videos. Do you think that I should find another niche or create a new channel? Let's see. Okay. Nipsey Hussle is a great niche. I think that's a great micro niche channel, honestly. Yeah, very cool, very cool. So in this case, you don't need that many views to get a good amount of sales, in my opinion. But I've been posting, and my click-through is like 4%. Okay, if your click-through rate's 4%, then clearly you have a lot to work on with your thumbnails, right? And so in that case, like, I kind of see your thumbnails are a bit all over the place in some ways, right? First you have the title of the video on some of them, and then you have cars as the thumbnail, and then you have Nipsey Hussle as the thumbnail, and then you have it without the title on the thumbnail, and you know, it's kind of like, and then you have it different here, right? You're kind of just a bit all over the place. And then also you had 4 months, then 2 months ago, and then 1 month ago, and you've kind of gone through inconsistencies, right? And then 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, and then all of a sudden you're back here now. So you've kind of gone through inconsistencies. So maybe try going for another channel in a similar style, but maybe a better keyword. Do better research on a keyword that is still micro niche, right? I think a good one is like Meek Mill type beats. I think that's a great niche. And that might be similar videos, right? So if you just stick to that every day, then I bet you'll see a lot better results on a brand new channel. So I know a lot of the times we get attached to our channels. You know, if we get like 600 subs, I was attached to my first channel and it had like 3,000 subs, but eventually I made the decision, hey, let's start a second one just on the side, see how it does. And that one ended up blowing up like crazy. So if I go here, we have the channel, and this is my second channel, and I blew it up completely. And imagine if I was attached to my first channel and just was like, no, you know what, I'm going to do Big Scar because my first channel was Playboy Cardi Beats. No, you know, I'm going to switch up my whole niche on my main channel and do Big Scar on my main channel. It would have flopped, right? But I made a new channel, did it for that niche, and that is what ended up working, you know. So definitely start a new channel if you're interested in that. Thanks for taking time to answer, bro. Much appreciated. Makes sense. So have Polo G as paint type beat. Gonna just gonna. Exactly. Always keep it separated. You'll get better results doing that. My channel has hit a bit of a ceiling with every beat getting around 1,000 to 2,000 views. Any advice? I feel like when I try to change niche slightly, the beats totally flop. Yeah, let's take a look. All right. So yeah, I mean, your beats get decent views, right? Definitely, they get decent views. You seem to have definitely a micro niche channel here, so congratulations. You're doing everything I preach. Awesome. And you seem to have a good theme going here. But the reason you're seeing your views cap is maybe just, you know, I sometimes don't even think that that's a bad thing. It's like, if you're in a micro niche channel, there is kind of a ceiling to the views, but the thing is, the beats will sell a lot. You know, they'll sell more than if you were to get 50,000 views on a trap beat here. You know, so but just some things you could do is maybe, like, I noticed there's some inconsistencies, like sometimes you're doing free at the start and then sometimes you're doing it at the end, and it's a little all over the place. If you're doing old school boom bap, then I would probably you know, there's some other keywords you could do potentially if you want to increase your views. Honestly, like, I know you could literally do like rap freestyle type beat and then do old school boom bap instrumental like you're doing at the end, or you could do kind of what Lethal Needle's doing with his titles, which is just like, I think he's doing like rap freestyle beat or something like that. That works for getting a lot of views, you know. So if you're going for that, then great. Or just you know, maybe sprinkle it in here and there while keeping what's already been working. I don't think you need a new channel though in your case. I think you have a great following in your niche, and you're crushing it. At the end of the day, you are crushing it, and you do have a micro niche type channel. So But if you did want to increase views, I'd probably like see what Lethal Needle's doing. There's, I think his name is like Dexter or something. They're doing like rap freestyle beat or rap freestyle type beat. Maybe you could sprinkle that in if you want to see an increase, because at that point you're going a lot more broader. But that could decrease your sales, or it could just keep it the same. I don't really know it to be honest, as far as like how that would play out for your specific channel. I think you would just need to have some trial and error with that. But hopefully that makes sense. And yeah, good stuff so far though. Does micro niche apply to R&B? Okay, so I did answer this. But it seems you asked again. No problem. And yeah, so I answered that though in the last video. So I recommend checking that out. Diego, I started my serious run on this channel about a year ago with some inconsistencies. Some months were good, some were mid. Now it's really fallen off. So I started experimenting. Am I doing a wrong niche, or am I doing something wrong? I may start another channel with a more generic niche like freestyle beats, because I see they do good. They do good for views, but it depends on what your goal is. Once again, like if you're going for views, then yeah, 100%. If you're going for sales, it's a completely different ballgame. Okay, views and sales do not equate. And a lot of producers get that confused, but it's true, right? They really don't equate. I see you're doing future type beat, which is solid, right? That's not bad. But you know, now you're definitely kind of adding more keywords in there, which I wouldn't do, honestly, with future specifically. Wouldn't necessarily do that. But you've been going on this channel for quite some time, right? I see you had 140 videos, right? If you want to go for views, yeah, freestyle beats is a great niche, you know. They just don't sell that much, to be honest. If you want to go for sales, maybe try R&B, maybe try Meek Mill, maybe try soul, right? But if you like trap, and it seems like you do, then I would probably, you could blow up a big freestyle beats channel, or you could do trap type beat or a trap beat, right? But you could also just work on this channel further and keep this channel running, because this is kind of your bread and butter, right? You've built it up for a long time. I know you've been kind of inconsistent at times, but yeah, so I would start a second channel for like freestyle beats on the side of what you're already doing. So hopefully that helps, man. Hi, Diego. I'd love to buy the course and apply your strategies, but I'm from Argentina and I don't speak English. Is that a problem? So if you're referring to the Type Beat Launchpad, which is just it's like a $47 course that's just on, you know, how to grow a Type Beat channel, and I go pretty in depth on it. If you're talking about that, which the only way you can buy that is by registering for my free event, which is the Sell Beats Online Challenge. You can register for that down below. But after you register, it takes you to a page which presents the Type Beat Launchpad, and that's the only way you can get it. If you're referring to that, then no. If you don't speak English, I wouldn't buy it. Just saving your money there. So because there's not really any subtitles. I do read off slides that I prepared for that program, but like I wouldn't it just depends on how much you want to Google Translate. But yeah, so I mean, you can try it though for 47 bucks. I do offer like a money back guarantee, so you can try it. If you don't like it, I'll just refund you, no problem. But hopefully that answers your question. And then, hi Diego, if we take for example Isaiah Rashad X Semino type beat keywords, how do we make niche in that? Is it possible to create a niche in the niche that has two words already? Of course it is, 100%. Because like I said, like you can always niche down further. 100%, you can always niche down further. And your thumbnails, I'd say they're decent, right? But I don't really mess with this filter, in my opinion. I think it almost looks a bit dated. Like this looks like a Type B video that was maybe from 2016, and I'm not saying this to attack you or anything, right? This is just honest, brutally honest critique. I think the pictures are cool. I think that the filter is what's kind of throwing me off. And that might be throwing other people off. But honestly, I would also look at the click-through rate. Maybe it's killing it, right? But yeah, you can definitely always niche down further though, to answer your question. Now, that is gonna be it for, we got this dude trying to be my video editor. Already have one, man. Also, I don't really edit these videos. I leave them pretty raw. But yeah, so that's gonna be it for today's video, guys. I really recommend you join the challenge, join the Sell Beats Online Challenge. It's starting November 3rd. You only have this month to register, and it's a completely free event. So definitely save your spot, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Make sure to leave more comments. Eventually, I will get around to them. So have a good night, guys. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.